Welcome to MANN-O-LOGUES. I'm Dr. Sundra Mann, the creator and host. MANN-O-LOGUES is where life and leadership converge. Enjoy the journey, and thank you for listening to MANN-O-LOGUES. Welcome to MANN-O-LOGUES. My name is Dr. Sundra Mann. I am the creator and host of MANN-O-LOGUES. This is an intimate conversation about life and leadership and how they are intertwined. We discuss the pivotal moments, the discoveries, the breakthroughs that help to shape our leadership DNA. I am excited to have as my guest today an amazing couple, the Parkers. The Parkers are retired from the military, but now they're doing their second act in leadership. We're going to talk with them today about what it means to continue in leadership beyond the uniform, beyond the rank, and those pivotal life moments that help shape who they are and how they lead their family and community. Welcome, Parkers.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mann. It is so wonderful to be here.
So, as we set the stage, Lachrisha and Reggie, our podcast is about where life and leadership converge. What was that moment for you in your journey when you knew that you were called to be a leader?
You go first?
Oh, no, you go first.
Well, I think this has been because I have been in sports. Let me go all the way back to my childhood. My grandfather was a Navy veteran. And it was instilled in us, of course, military early, as well as me being an athlete in school. So leadership was taught very early, and in the military and also in sports, being that captain, and in track, and basketball, and volleyball. Wow. Then going into the Army. I think that moment was instilled in me early, right? And didn't know that was it when I hit basic training.
Yes.
And I seen that I had already had those skills invested in me and also embedded in me. And so I think that was my pivotal moment when I knew that it was not just my small hometown of Indiana.
Yes.
It was something larger when all of the ladies in basic training came together, and I had to step up of all the skills that I had embedded in me already. Yeah.
That is amazing that sports gave you transferable leadership skills at an early age.
At a very early age, and then also in a large family, so you better you better understand what leadership is in the pecking order as well. So yes, all the transferable skills.
Okay. All right, so service is also in your DNA.
Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, so I am also a twin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A twin, and my twin sister, she's the first to go into the military, the female to go into the military, and so that's very interesting because I did college first and played sports, and she went straight into the Army. Wow. Yeah, so I had to follow her.
Amazing.
It really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you, sir?
Growing up in Chicago in a single family home, it's what I think really honed my leadership skills, because I had to do the things that other people, or rather I chose to do the things that other people didn't do. I chose to not do drugs. I chose to not be a gang member. I chose to be at home. My mother worked the 3 to 11 shift as a respiratory specialist. So I chose to try to do my best in helping my siblings. I'm one of 4 boys in Chicago. My mother raised all 4 boys. Nobody went to jail. Nobody drug dealer or any of those things. So leadership started at home for me, knowing that somebody had to make a difference and decide not to be just a person of the world and do something different, because many of my friends fell prey to the streets of Chicago.
Yes.
And their brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and family members all fell into the same trappings. And I just did not want that for myself. So I chose to first be a leader in my home.
Yes.
And then when my time was up being a leader in my home and everybody was basically of age to do their own thing, I decided I graduated high school and it was my turn to take my self out of Chicago. And that began my journey or was my foundation rather, for my role as becoming a leader in my time in the Army.
That is amazing that you first saw that you needed to be a leader in your home to help support your mother, to make things easier for her, but then also role modeling for your siblings as well.
Yes. And my youngest brother decided to join the Army after I joined. So 5 years, I had been in service for 5 years, and he thought it a good thing to join the Army as well. And he did. And in those two decisions, my decision and his decision, you can see in our family how those decisions created something different and different paths for the two of us, opposed to my other two brothers. Not to say that they're not as accomplished, but you can see the different roads that we're taking.
I love that. All right. Lachrisha, from Fort Wayne, Indiana, to years of distinguished service in the military, and now leading community engagement at the Military Women's Memorial. Amazing. We're going to get into detail about that later.
Okay.
Was there a specific moment when you realized that your story wasn't just about serving, but about preserving and honoring the stories of women in the military?
Wow. I think, coming from Indiana and being a minority, Black female, still raised in my grandfather's house, right? And my mom, single parent, to continue to share the story and being a woman of color. It was very important to continue to stand out. I think, too, in the military, there's some obstacles, especially being a woman of color. And I hit those. You try to do the right thing, but you're still a woman of color, right? And with the Women's Memorial, I wanted to advocate and showcase. I think that's more of a thing, that we are leaders. We're not always behind, we're not seen, and we're not invisible. There's a slogan right now, that campaign, that you're not invisible, women that wear the uniforms, because the first thing that people understand is, or they say, hey, military, or who's that military member, and they instantly goes to the male, not the female. And so it was, I'm that person, right? Like, I want to make sure that I become correct, but also knowing that I serve too. It was rough for us as well. So I wanted to let people know that not only men served in the military, because it was 3 million women that served. And a lot of people didn't know that. And as working as a community engagement manager at the Women's Memorial, it was one of my highlights after I donned a uniform in the military. I put on another uniform, and that was being out front. And we as women in the military, we also say that we have the imposter syndrome. Like, no, not me, right? I just served. And it's like, or I just served 3 years. Or
Downplay it.
Very much so.
Minimize,
Very much so, because we are some, mothers and wives. And they were like, well, majority of the women, things happen in the military. And so we just don't want to talk about that.
Sure.
And so it was another veteran, older veteran, black female, that gave me the encouragement to shine the light on myself and also women in uniform, continued on. And I can always say I look to women of color. I mean, I was so drawn just in their leadership and uniform. I just wanted to model after them. And so they come before me, and I wanted to make my grandfather proud, my family proud, myself proud, and those women of color, proud. So I'm like, okay, if they can do it, I know I can do it.
That's right.
And stand for them, those that couldn't say anything, and continue to stand.
And stand tall.
I'm trying.
Yes.
So
I love
they're
that.
holding me up.
That's
They're
great.
holding me up, and I'm glad that I have this one over here
That's right.
that holds me up as well. So
That is wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. Reggie, as you shared from Chicago to the Army at a very early age, to Morgan State, to 8 years with Homeland Security, now serving with the U.S. Navy as a security specialist. What has been your through line in all of those transitions? What part of you has remained constant? And even as your uniform has changed, but your mission keeps going. So what's been your through line through the transitions, and what's been consistent as you transition from active service to just serving the broader community?
Professionalism. It's always been the thing for me. It's always been the driving motivation for me. It's professionalism. I love wearing the uniform. I love getting up in the morning, having a starch uniform on, shine boots, going to formation, leading my soldiers. And I believe that if I showed them professionalism, that they would understand what I'm trying to do, where we're trying to go. I led, they followed. But if they saw Sergeant Parker as a professional, then they would be able to mimic and then also improve on my shortcomings. And so when I left, retired from the service, I went to Morgan State as an older individual. And in doing that, I took professionalism to school with me. And I would, during the day, during class, I would kind of converse with the younger students, and I gave me a nickname, Uncle Reggie. I tried to show them my professionalism in school. I would be on time. I would ask questions. I sat in the front of the class, and not separating myself from them in any way, but just showing them that this is what life can look like, and should look like. You're here to grow in your education, grow in your knowledge. And so then leaving Morgan, a few months after I graduated from Morgan, I was employed by the Department of Homeland Security. I was at the headquarters of Personnel Security Specialist, and I brought professionalism to that position, which was, and it was recognized through my supervisors and a panel that I sat on. There was just something that, an enjoyable moment, right? The things about, and so at the Department of the Navy, they recognize our shop where I am now at Commander Navy Installation Command. They recognize our security shop by coming in and giving us verbal kudos almost on a daily basis. And it's because of the professionalism that's displayed. Every member of the team that's in the office has a drive for professionalism. I mean, you just see it. And I believe that that's what, that's my through line, professionalism. You want to be a professional in the things that you do, and there's reward to being a professional. You know, just to be a professional, just to know that I'm striving to be the best that I can be in the things that I do. I think that's what my through line was and is, and that's what I try to display.
I love it. I love it. Professionalism.
You know what? I love that because Reggie sets the standard.
I love it.
He does. And it's like I'm so proud of him. I just had to, because when you said that, like, you always set the standard. Everywhere he goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when we met, he was always above, right? And it's recognized, right? You can say something without saying something.
Yes.
And how you show up.
Your
and how
nonverbal behavior.
that whole thing and that package. And I think and you can be seen and not heard, but
Absolutely.
you can say a lot. Yes. And I think too, with the professionalism that you've always had, you stood out, and people want to be better.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's the leadership, right? And it's the resilience and the above achieving more for not just for itself, but for others around him.
Absolutely. Why do you feel uncomfortable with her giving you kudos?
I
can see it all over your nonverbal behavior right now. Why are you feeling uncomfortable?
I've always told him this.
It's never, I don't know, leaders, people have this philosophy that leaders are born. I've never seen a leader born. Leaders aren't even truly made.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact of life. There's no job in the world harder than leading troops. I can tell you that because I know it to be a fact. Nobody in corporate America calls their employees creditor in the service. Let a service member drop the ball. That sergeant is standing there when they're a service member or is calling their creditor to try to straighten this out. Mm-hmm. So we lead in a different way.
Right.
I don't, for me, you say kudos, it's just a thing. Life is, you work hard, you do the things that you have to do, and you put forth the best effort. I don't do anything for accolades. I just do it to make sure that the moment is clear, the vision is seen, and the execution is completed. Once we do that, as a leaders, then you step back and then let those people that did all of the real work, and because you as a leader know what you've done, and leaders know what they've done.
Right.
So you don't, I don't look forward, you don't have to pat me on the back and tell me I did well. And I know my baby always, tells me that, I've done some great things, and I appreciate that, but it's just not for I'm not a moment person. I have my other moments. I'm not we got a mission to do a set of goals to accomplish. So, but thank you, baby. I appreciate you.
I love it, and I understand. I understand. You set a vision, you execute, and you stay focused on the mission.
Yes.
Absolutely respect that. I do believe that one of the things we do ourselves a disservice sometimes is that we don't allow ourselves to be celebrated.
Yeah.
And sometimes we deny other people to celebrate us. So I encourage you to allow others to celebrate you and to celebrate yourself.
I'll try to fit.
I'm going to leave that right there.
I'll try to fit that into the box.
Okay, fit that in. Okay, all right. So, Lachrisha, you served nearly 3 decades in the Army with your life shaped by military structure, right, and discipline. You retired just a few years ago. What did you discover about yourself that those 28 years of service prepared you for, but you maybe really didn't realize while you were going through the process?
That I can take off the uniform. with all those years,
Yes.
you're in this op tempo. You're always in it. And I think to learn how to relax and enjoy the retirement, I don't think it's set in just yet. You know, it's 2018, but you've been doing it and been grinding for so long,
Yes.
and that's all you know how to do.
Yes.
Um,
And you've done it with excellence, both of you.
well, thank you.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel it. It didn't feel like it. I think that's the other part of just sitting back and when they said smell the roses, it's like, well, I don't have time to smell the roses. I gotta go, I gotta do this, and, you know, that, and then raise a family, and then, you know, as a wife, slowing down,
Yes.
slowing down.
Yes.
I think that's the part that I'm learning how to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know my husband probably say something different, but putting myself first, because I put others before myself
Mm-hmm.
all the time, all the time. And I think that's the servant leader
Mm-hmm.
and selfless service as well.
Yes.
Just putting myself first and learning me. And
being okay with you being first.
and that's hard. I think that's the other part. That's hard because it's this that been there for so long.
Sure.
Just like, hey, I think I like this,
Mhm.
and no one telling you, right, what you like.
Yes. Yes.
That's the other part, and just learning me all over again is.
Sounds exciting. Exciting self-discovery.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very exciting, but scary at the same time because it's like you're about to turn 55. Man, this part of life, right? And it's like, okay, I gotta love him. You know, like it's like dating all over again. You know, after the kids are out of the house, you
Yes.
know, then it's like, okay, I like you.
Mhm.
No, I mean, I love you, but I like you.
too.
I
Yes.
like you too, you know. And I think during that time, that was pre-COVID as
Mhm.
well. Just learning me. I think that's the largest thing. And it's okay to start again
Yes.
and again
Yes.
and again.
Yes. Yes.
I
That's
think
a
that's
great leadership lesson.
that part.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the, for me, because I was so hard on myself, and I was looking for the accolades. I really was, because of we've been doing this for so long, and we were taught, I guess, that with the medals and your awards and everything else, but you don't have to. You've already have that. You know, you're already validated. And then as a Christian as well, it's like, okay, Lord, you know, really settling in to a lot of things. But I think the moment was just finding myself.
Yes.
Finding myself.
And that looks different for everyone. Right?
It looks different for everyone.
And understanding that your path doesn't have to look like someone else's, right? And so your retirement, your next step, your life, your parenting, your marriage, etc., doesn't have to look like someone else's to be successful.
And who determines success?
Exactly.
I think that's the other part as well that we have to learn. I had to learn that. Let me be clear, because it's okay to not be okay.
Yes. Yes.
It's okay to be okay. And it's okay to do just nothing at all. But we get up, thank God that we get up and we're like, okay, do you want to get out of bed or not?
Yeah.
And it's okay,
Yes.
right? And so
It's okay to be different every day.
every day, but protect your peace. I think that's the biggest thing too.
Okay. I love that. Reggie, so having 24 plus years in leadership and leading soldiers across supply, logistics, and combat arms, was there a specific moment when you realized that you weren't just following orders anymore, but your leadership was shaping who soldiers were becoming?
Oh, absolutely.
That's a good question.
It's a difficult thing to follow orders when others' lives are in jeopardy. In my second deployment to Iraq, I just distinctly remember one of my lieutenants we were on mission. We were what we call downrange from our base, our fob, and there was a rush to offload. Some equipment, and so at that time we built bridges. We bridged. Bridged both the Tigris and the Euphrates in Iraq, and we were building a bridge, and there was a rush to offload some supplies on our bridge parts. I can't remember exactly what it was, and my lieutenant was just up and down, up and down, up and down. And I had to let him know that we're going to accomplish the mission, but we're going to put my soldiers first. We're already in a threat situation. We don't need to rush because the enemy knows we're here. There's nothing else we can do about it. And we're going fast. It's not going to accomplish the mission any quicker. Right now, operating equipment, cranes, we were doing a tandem lift with two different cranes. One operator was supervised by me, and I knew his skills. The other operator was somebody else in the theater. So it was a tricky moment. And you could see that the crane tipped a little bit. Ooh. So, we could have made a bad situation worse.
Sure.
And so just having to let my lieutenant know that this right now is the time let's take pace. We need to slow down. It's, a couple of extra minutes is not going to, it's not going to win the war for us any faster. Yes. We do have the capacity to lose soldiers, destroy equipment that was needed.
So you weren't just taking orders, right? You were shaping the moment for your soldiers. And so it sounds like you were putting their life, their care, you made them a priority, right? And their safety a priority. So just, how you continue to lead beyond not just taking orders, but you were the one that was making sure, and I don't want to say giving the orders, because you were shaping the moment, you were shaping their lives and their leadership too.
There's a phrase that goes, mission first, soldiers always. And if you're like mission first, soldiers always. We know we have to accomplish the mission is the mission. The soldiers are the mission. The soldiers are always. Without the soldier, the mission would not get accomplished. But if you have to go to your last soldier, if you run out of soldiers, the missions will be accomplished. But it's mission first. That's what we're there for. We're there to accomplish a specific mission. If it's building bridges, if it's breaching, if it's mine sweeping, if it's convoys, we're there to accomplish the mission. But without your soldiers, without their training, without them following your lead in threat situations. So mission first, soldiers always. But your soldiers know if you care about them. They know when you say, if as a non-commissioned officer, you have then your lieutenants and your commissioned officers and your field grade officers. They know when you stand up for them that, you're putting yourself in harm's way, right? You're putting your career and your position in harm's way, but it's not something that we do lightly. Because I will never disobey an order, but I will always tactfully make it known that I'm not following this because I'm following this with some, a conversation will be had afterwards.
Sure.
Because, again, the soldiers are always the most important asset we have.
Right.
Your weapon is not as important as a soldier. Your equipment is not as important as a soldier. So you have to stand up for your soldier. And there are some great officers. I'm not saying that officers are bad. There's some outstanding officers that understand that we as non-commissioned officers, though, we stand, like the new children, the new generation, 10 toes down. We're right next to these young folks every day. So, yeah, those are the times. That's what I had to do that because in doing that, the next generation understood when it was time to accomplish the mission, but with some grievances.
Yes.
And so,
So I heard two things in there which are fascinating. That the symbolism of literally building bridges on a mission that you sort of had to create a virtual bridge of community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you were there, and I won't get into all the details, I'm sure you cannot, but you were there in a country that was being torn apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Opposite sides, lots of opposition, and you are building a physical bridge. Like the symbolism of that is like blowing my mind. I mean, did you think about any of that?
I thought about the part that had we not blown a bridge up, we wouldn't hit the building.
To rebuild.
So without
that's not funny, but it is.
Without there, and well, it did. I think the people were grateful because, and I can't remember exactly where the mission took us to, but I do remember as we built this bridge, it was we first initially put in a pontoon bridge. And so 74th MRBC was the company that I was with, and we initially put in a pontoon bridge, and the people did see that as a gesture on our part. And then we came back and put in a fixed bridge, so then that they could take their motor vehicles and themselves back and forth, because as I remember it, the only other crossing was like 15 miles out of the way. And so, again, we tore it up, but we actually replaced it with a much better bridge that would have, it is probably still standing right now. So, yes.
Fortified restoration.
Yes, that's what, see, that's why you have the doctor's degree.
That's a wonderful cycle. That's a wonderful cycle of leadership and learning. I love it. I love it. All right. The other thing that you pointed out was something that just I reflected on is outside of the military, I don't think that leaders are really thinking about putting their stakeholders, especially their employees, first, right? So sometimes the actual people doing the work gets lost in achieving the mission. I don't know if either of you all have experienced that since you have retired from service and in your post Army roles. Have you experienced how there's a difference in how leaders are executing vision and mission a little differently than the structure that you all that really developed your leadership skills?
I definitely have. At the Department of Homeland Security initially, after retirement, I always told myself I wanted to, work in corporate America, wear a suit to work, and be a professional. And
by the way, you wear some nice suits.
And so I just remember getting to my office. I can see my cubby now, my cubby mates, and one of the things that I recognized was leaders didn't leave their offices. They didn't, and being an extrovert, every morning I would speak to everybody in the office, go to cubby. First, cubby to cubby, into all of the supervisor's office and just lean in the door, talk for a few minutes, talk sports, talk whatever we were talking, and then go back to my desk, and my coworkers used to say, "Well, Parker doesn't need any coffee. He's going to be Parker every morning."
Every morning.
And I brought that because what I understood about leadership was that we engage with the personnel in our office, that we asked about them, and I took that to the next level in the office, not being in charge of anybody. Yes. But I understood I would ask about people's families.
Right.
It used to be a part of my leader's book. We were required to carry leader's books as sergeants. And so I always remembered, I remembered some of my coworkers in the office that had children, the number of children, the different types of dogs they had, whose husband was a police officer, whose spouse worked in Baltimore, and I would be intentional about asking them these things. And we don't have that. They don't have that on the federal side, where once the doors are shut, when the end of the day, it's over. At the Department of the Navy, where I currently work, I think it's a little bit better because we are still in a military environment. Right. My supervisor, the security manager, is retired from the Navy, and his boss is retired from the Marines. So I think it's in our DNA to ask those questions. How's your family? How you been doing? What's going on? Talk some sports. Ask about your health. Care about your health, and those things that are ingrained in us. So yes, there's definitely a difference. There's definitely a difference, and there's a failure in a way in the military. Vet said it earlier about something about the same way. One thing about the military, they ask that you do the same thing to get to the same point. So as a sergeant, to make sergeant first class, they expect you to do the same things, where they don't see outside of the military. So if you're a soldier, or you're a sergeant, you're working hard, you're doing everything, but then you're going to serve your community, that is absolutely, that's not a reward.
Oh, wow.
In the service.
Okay.
The service doesn't say, thank you for also being they do give out certificates, but you have to be somebody. Yeah. Just a young man that comes and does his job and then leave job and go and work in his community, that individual is not recognized in the service. Yeah. At least in the civilian world, on the Fed side, they find out that you are doing something other than coming to work, and that after work you go and do something, that you are, there's a greater appreciation for your work in the community. So it's a difference. One is a stricter regimen of leadership, where the other has a different balance. If they could, co-mingle, leaders in America would be the greatest thing going. But we don't have that. So
Yes.
I think that's the cohesiveness too, right? And you said it, right? We have to engage as leaders. In the civilian side, they don't as much. Yeah. It's somebody else's job, and so it's important to see that, those that are in leadership, you're like, hey, you care about me. You know who I am. You're involved in this particular mission. I think that's the big part too. So it's different, and as Reggie, we are extroverts, on itself, because I was HR. It's almost like I have to do a wellness check and check on you, because then that'll reflect everything that we do, paperwork, right? I need to know you. I need to, hey, how was your family? Because if you're not good, then we have to do something about it.
Yeah.
So it's a different part of leadership, you know. And we said, hey, check on your battle buddy.
Mm.
You check on your battle
I
buddy,
like that.
and you make sure everybody's okay. You know, like they said, Annie, are you okay with Michael Jackson? But it's just we had to put it in perspective, though, and making sure, hey, be involved, be engaged, because then that person or their employee will feel much better. That leadership, you know, show up and be present.
Yes. I love
Be
that.
present.
I love that. Fun fact, I worked for the Department of Navy
Oh,
when I was
okay.
in college, NAVC 07F.
Hey.
Shout out. Let's put that out there. Let's put that out there.
NAVC is right down the street from where I work at, actually, on the same installation.
Hey.
Yeah, I always laugh. They used to send me to the Pentagon, but I swear with some secrets in the envelope. But I never opened it.
I'm glad you didn't.
I'm glad you did not.
We had to pause this interview and call the authorities.
I was 19.
Oh, yeah. It's all right.
You still got, you might have some bones in
It's
that
good
closet.
that curiosity didn't get the best of
It
you.
did not. It did not. I was disciplined.
Oh,
That's
see,
it.
there it is.
Another line of leadership.
That's
It's just-
it.
Yes,
it.
absolutely. So you all have raised 5 children. Oof. I have 1, and I'm tired. But you've raised 5. Dual military careers, right? So at some point, I'm sure you were not in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with that came a lot of understanding, sacrifice, patience, partnership.
Yes. Communication. Prayer. Let me just say that. That's tough.
Why you been quiet?
That's tough.
It's the hardest journey
Yeah.
was raising children, parenting children. It's nothing like I could take soldiers to combat and have an expectation of the outcome. Provide them with food, provide them with shelter, munitions, weapons, training, knowing that I care for them, they care for me. It's not like a raising kids. You give a child,
Elaborate.
we are, and I can, frankly, I'm just going to speak frankly, our youngest has everything, had everything, received everything.
Yeah.
And when you think that you've done it all, that you've hugged, you kissed, you've transported to sports, you provided all the things, and it just doesn't shake out the way that you want it to shake out. Then you go back and you kind of look at yourself and say, where did I fail in my home that I didn't fail on my job? 2 combat tours. I had some soldiers that were injured, but I never lost any lives. I've never, I had both times. I had one of my first tour, one of my soldiers, non-combat related, was tragically he survived, but he was injured, just devastating injury.
Wow.
And so you at home, we're not fighting any wars. We're not, doing anything combat related, but you still can't get through to that's not your enemy.
Yeah.
That individual that you are trying to give everything to, provide everything for, mentor, be an example. Yeah. What was the question again? Because right now I'm just.
Yeah, no.
He's
I
a
want you to
parent.
reflect. I wanted you to reflect on just, and sometimes that is that imbalance, right? Of being highly successful, in one area, but maybe, still working on something in another area. They don't take away. I think it's an ebb and flow of life. It's an ebb and flow of life and leadership. And so with that, I'm thinking about the lessons in that personal situation that you could take back into the office or take into a professional situation, because you're going to have sometimes teammates or employees that you are, the expectations are clear, the resources and support are clear, but they're still not performing or they're not able to achieve the mission, right? And so just that reciprocal learning from both situations and how they just might shape how you might continue to lead forward, right? And so just reflection.
4856.
Okay, what does that mean?
4856 is a form that we use to either write counseling.
Okay.
So, in the service, in the Army, more specific, tell the soldier, all right, you're going to get a 4856 today.
Okay.
They already know. And
They're gonna write you up.
It's the, and it's the tone, how they receive that 48. Hey, see me. If you see me after hours with a 4856, it's not a good look. If you see me, and very rarely do you write a 4856 that is kudos.
Okay.
But what you were saying, like, you can extra train or retrain a resource that is outside of your home.
Yes.
You can take more time. Leaders take time with their subordinates. If you're really true about trying to get this individual to be as successful as he or she can be, you'll take some time. And if they want to be successful, they'll accept that time that you offer. So, you say you're walking out of one of these as a federal employee and you're leaving the office and you're a supervisor and you ask this individual, well, right now you're just not cutting, you're not making it. You're not, right now you're just not where we need you to be. But if you come in a little earlier, or if you stay a little later, we can go over some of these things. That'll tell you if that person wants to be there or not. Yeah. And then that'll show that individual that you as a leader are invested in him or her, that you would take your time to offer it to them when everybody else has run out the building. Yeah. And so that's the difference with a child or with children.
Or a family member.
Family member, it's, you can sit them down for as many 4856 as you choose to.
My new code word, 4856.
It just does not work out the way you want it to. And I wish it did. I wish that effort and love and time and understanding brought the desired outcome that we wanted, but it doesn't. So family and leadership is, man, that's something that I can't speak to that at all. It's just like, I'm a dad, I tried, I love you, here's a hug. Let's go play baseball. Yeah.
Well, I think the other part too, speaking from the mom side, right? The softer side. Sometimes, we want our children and our family to be as militant as when we were in, as our soldiers, right? And sometimes they try. They try to do the best that they can, but they're not soldiers, right? And so they'll try to do a lot of stuff to get the attention. And we try the best that we can, and sometimes it's not enough.
I disagree with that. I disagree with one thing that you said. My mom said many years ago, those are not your soldiers. So I reversed my course on that in thinking that, right, I can't lead my family like I lead my soldiers. So I didn't want them to have a military mindset per se. I wanted them to have a level of structure, a level of that level where that I'm learning from this, a foundation. It was never about Hut 2, 3, 4. It was more about understanding that what I did, what we did, and we tell the children, we sacrificed. Being in the Army is not an easy thing.
Not at all.
Being in the Army for 24 and 28 years is just like, every moment somebody could tell you to go here, there, and you never return. You miss birthdays, you miss Christmas, you miss births. So there was a lot of sacrifice, but we knew what the sacrifice meant on the other end.
Yes.
Financially, the ability to send our children to college, but I just believe in I learned early. It may not seem like I had an understanding of not wanting more so the boys to have a military mindset, but an understanding that this is a great foundation, right? The foundation of understanding. If you can understand that your parents want the best for you at an early age, as a young African American in society, and if you can understand that your employer wants the best for you as a new employee, no matter how many years, all of it goes in the same direction. If we just want the best, the success for betwixt and between the two, but again, being at home is hard.
Yes.
Home is hard. It's a hard place to come.
It's again, as a military member and a spouse and a mother, it's hard. Like you said, it's difficult, right? And I think making sure that you're taken care of, you're a provider, but also I know we bump heads a lot. You can't tell, can you?
No, I cannot.
Okay, it's one because we learned early in our marriage, 51-49. He gets
what's that one?
51-49%. Like he's the tiebreaker. Like if we just can't decide, it would be Reggie would be the tiebreaker. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's God, then it's you. You're responsible for a lot of things. So I think with being dual military and then coming home, taking off the uniform, and we were separated in different locations a lot of times. And I had, he'll have the girls down in Texas, or I'll have the boys in Louisiana. That was a different and hard makeup, every opportunity to try to get to that location to try to have a family, as much as a family dynamics as possible. So it's tough on the children, but also I think too, we sit back and we're like, man, we made it through that thing. Yeah. We really made it through it. And this is what we had to do. It was like a mission. You get to where you're going. This is how we were set out. But raising children in a dual military, some people last and some families don't. Yeah. And so I thank God that we made it, and our leadership style is a little different. I'm a little softer. I'm not, hey, I'm strict, but there's that softer guy. He can cuss you out all day. I won't. I could cuss you without cussing. Yeah. And I get more with honey than anything else. But it's that
his face.
That's just that's just your work environment. You get more with honey when you. In my work environment, you get more with words that end with "ucka." Then
I say.
Then you do with please and thank you, but that is a form of communication in the service.
I'm just saying, are we different?
We're different in not just leadership style. We're just different in people.
Yes.
We're different in our spirituality. When we met, I knew God only. Let me see.
Say it right.
I know him once. I was an Easter God. I only hit God on Easter.
CME, Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Easter.
Just Easter.
Okay, gotcha.
Being in the service. Being in the service, what am I telling you to go? Beth was she had spirituality and Christianity ingrained in her, and and that's probably why her leadership was different than mine.
Sure.
That
Again, there's no one way.
No,
not at all.
And clearly, your differences complement each other in the fact that you've been together this long. You have survived those years of service in the military, together and separated, but then also that you have raised 5 beautiful kids. And nobody's perfect, right?
No,
and so
perfect.
Truly, I hear a complementary partnership, relationship, kinship is what I hear, that is foundational under patience, perseverance, and prayer.
Yeah, absolutely. All those.
Yes.
That is absolutely. I mean, we just agree to be in our lane and support one another. And and nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
We aren't perfect, nor do we try to be perfect. We try to be good people. That's what I believe in. Just being a good person.
Sure.
And all of this rings out in being a leader. If you are, I know leaders with horrible homes, but they're good leaders. But they, when what I see of them, they're good people. I don't know what their home life is like, but I know when they come in front of, not just troops in my prior profession, but in my profession now. Going in the office, I can talk to people and know that they're having a hard day at home, but you would never know it at work because they still have that compassion for people, and they have a understanding of what leadership is. Leadership is a whole lot of things.
It is.
It's a whole lot of things.
Okay. All right, I'm going to shift a little bit. So, Lachrisha, you moved from managing soldiers directly to managing processes and systems that enable soldiers to do their very best, right? What had to change inside of you to make that transition? So from going from managing people to managing the processes so that people could be their best self.
The humility. Continue to stay humble, right? From people to systems and systems to people, right? They're all, we're not in the system anymore in the military. It's people. And I think, too, it was also people for me because I was in HR. I always been people. And not a lot of shift, but different systems. I think that's the biggest part, right? Because you have to learn another system. People are going to be people, and they have a heart in itself. I think it's not, for me, it's not too hard on a lot of stuff, right? I'm not a federal employee, but I have dealt with civilians on the outside. So, and you critique the system, make it do with that and fit in, but also it's the people and how continue to stay in this space of being humble, but also learning the people. I think that's the biggest part for me. I hope I answered that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So something that I know about you is that talking about people and systems, you have been advocating for veterans benefits. Talk about that a little bit.
So not only just veteran benefits, let me just go back. So at our church, I know how important veteran benefits are. And in our community, a lot of us refuse to or don't know. Let me just not say refuse. Just don't know about the benefits, and they think it might be late for them to receive their benefits. They just don't know. And so we started something at the church, the chosen few, to bring in the regional Baltimore Regional Claims Clinic to ask those questions and also see those that have served Vietnam. We even had a World War II vet that came through with their receiving their benefits. And it's so important because, especially with the what we're doing in the climate now, and those that are laid off work have been laid off, it has helped.
Yes.
It was earned and deserving of it. And I think bringing that in to the forefront and advocating for those that really don't know. And my whole thing is when I got out, it was specifically for women veterans. Because women veterans in itself, we have the imposter syndrome.
Yes.
We have some get out the military and in their career because they want to be at home with the children as their spouse have served in the military.
Yes.
And so we advocate, being on the Center for Women, Department of Veteran Affairs Center for Women Veterans Advisory Committee as well, continue to advocate for women. We don't get the services that the males get, at the VA.
Wow.
And so we I think, too, seeing another female to speak up and advocate for another sister in arms,
Yes.
then it makes it a little bit easier to, hey, look, let me walk with you. Let me do this with you. And we can speak the same language, as well as the men, too.
Yes.
And they come out, and then they tell another friend,
Yeah.
and another vet, and
I love
another
it.
vet, and they
I
said,
love it.
well,
I
I
love
only served 1 or 2 years. I was drafted, but you had Agent Orange. Your back is, you're walking like this, and and you go down this list, and they said, well, I didn't think I was worthy enough because my leg wasn't blown up, or I wasn't a POW, or these big things that the military put in place that put it in your mind. So that's why I advocate, because some advocated for me. And so it's just, it's on my watch.
Yeah.
On my watch, I want to make sure that happens. I think, too, I'm grateful for the church opening up the doors. And it took a long time.
Yes. I'm aware. I'm aware.
But I think, too, to advocate, because they, I think leadership in itself, it was a low priority, which is fine. But it was great timing. Because now we can continue on and people understand, even the leadership at the church, understand how important and we really didn't know. We thought everybody got benefits, and that's not true.
Yes.
And so when you make people aware,
Yes. Raising awareness.
it's so important. It's so important to do that. So I'm just a vessel.
Yes.
I'm just a vessel. That's it. I'm happy to be that. And it makes me proud. Maybe he's like, oh, Lord, have mercy. He wants to stay away from a lot of military, and that's fine. But for me, carrying my cross, that's what I think I was just called to do on there. And I'm happy to advocate.
Thank you for that. So my dad is a veteran, an Army veteran.
Oh, hi.
Yes, from active duty in Vietnam, as well as he came home and transitioned to the Army Reserve. So, so most of my life, I watched my father serve in some form or fashion, and so we recently did encourage him to get benefits for being exposed to Agent Orange. So I appreciate your service.
No, it
I
is my
appreciate that.
pleasure. And thank you for being a Army brat.
Yes.
Right, so you can understand and relate.
Just
to,
a little.
I think a lot as a dependent, and also a daughter of a veteran in itself. Thank you for your dad's service. Thank you for your continued service and support, because we need you. Right, we need family members. You'll start understanding, and I think I don't know. But I'm just assuming, did you ask your dad a lot of questions once you got older?
He's very quiet about it.
Yeah.
He's very quiet about it, so he doesn't like to talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
You know.
And rightfully so. And I think it alludes back to Reggie, you know, some of the things that a lot of things I don't know, like when he was out, you know, out there, which is really great. He knows that I'm praying for him, but I think the other part is that they want to keep that there and not bring it home because of.
And I respect that.
Yeah, very much so. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So this question is for both of you all. So transitioning from direct leadership to supporting leadership, right? What type of character and emotional intelligence does that transition involve? So going from directly serving as the leader to now supporting other leaders, as you all are, you know, have shifted a little bit. What type of character and emotional intelligence does that take for you to do that? One thing I heard you say earlier is humbleness.
Yes. And patience. I think for me, you want to it's strategic as well, because you have to. For me, it's like, no, you got to do it this way. Hey, it's better this way, and then they want to do it a certain way. But it's just like having patience, but also communication. Like, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried this? And it's like, no, and you have to sit back and observe a little bit. I know when I was in a particular position in working for a leader, I had to give it 30 days. I said, let me observe, because your leadership style is totally different than, but you hired me for my leadership. Let me observe and see how that is. And so when you have leaders, different leaders, toxic leaders, and outstanding leaders, you have to fit in this particular jigsaw puzzle of how to gain the respect and communicate.
How to navigate the new system.
The new system in itself. And so just the patience in itself.
A leader is not wrong. I think you termed it a support. In support, having been a leader before, you never question another leader in front of the team.
Right.
Even if you know that they are dead wrong. If you know that what they're doing is going to be, it's going to fall apart. As a subordinate support leader, I support leaders, because one thing I was taught in the service, you never say what somebody else didn't deserve. No matter what, they're not going. You can say it 1,000 times. He didn't deserve to get promoted, but he got promoted. She got promoted. She's in the position. So why are you standing in the back and whispering about what they didn't do and what they don't know? So in that, after leaving the service and going into the federal arena, I would hear all the time, they don't know nothing. She doesn't know anything. He shouldn't even be in this position. And I wouldn't say anything to my coworkers, but I would go and tell the leader, not what my coworkers saying, but giving them some other ideas to let them know that what they haven't said to the individual is some things that they might want to look at. So instead of being that person that sits in the back and whispers and tries to tear down, I've always been, I'll listen. You might even see me nod my head. But at the end, I'm going to support the leader by doing a few things. And that some of those things are to take exactly what you said. Not saying that you said it, not because I will never be that type of teammate, but saying, well, well, did you look at this reg? Did you look at how this flows? Because it is my job to take care of my leaders as much as it is my leaders' job to take care of me.
Right.
That's what leadership is, and that's what a team is. A team goes back and forth. I don't only look to you for guidance, I provide help to you. One thing that came to my mind, when at Department of Homeland Security, they moved me to another section, or rather I was in the same section, but they brought in a new branch manager. And I remember going and telling my director very candidly, and I had only been there 2 years then, I had told him very candidly, my new supervisor was failing because of him. And because I don't have the fear, I don't have any fear of consequences like that, sure. My thing is, you are failing her because you're not giving her your all.
Yes. Yes.
And I believe that if more subordinates took the time to care as much about the leader as the leader should care about them, then a workplace would be a whole lot better place to be. Because I'm not there to usurp any authority, because that's just not how it works. What are you going to do? Go tell my supervisor that I don't know something, but I'm in the position? They're not going to fire him and hire you. You're not going to jump 3 levels up, but you can learn something, and people will learn something about you. They'll learn that you have integrity.
Yes.
And with integrity comes a number of things. But if leaders show that you have integrity, and leaders know that you have integrity, you are the person that they want to have around. I've told every one of my civilian leaders, so in my time out of the service, I've had 3 supervisors. And one thing I say to them constantly is that I am loyal. I am a very loyal subordinate. I'm a very loyal employee because I believe that you can trust me. You can trust me in as long as it's not life, limb, or eyesight, or things that'll get us to go to jail. I'm here to support you. Off the clock, on like if it's like we need to get all this work done, and okay, I don't have to be on the clock to do the work. I will do the work because this is who we are. You're my leader, and so in that I support leaders by being able to be led. I don't have to be in charge anymore. I can be led, and in me being led, I hope what I say to those people that are working to my left and to my right is to understand that everybody wants to be in charge until it's time to be in charge. And then when it's time to be in charge, nobody wants those headaches. Nobody wants the consequences and the ridicule that comes with being a leader. So let's not worry about what they're doing. Let's worry about what we're doing to support our leader, to make our leader the best leader that he or she can be. And if you can do those things, you can be a great subordinate leader.
That is essential. It is hard to be a leader when you're not willing to follow, right? So that is, and I also heard you say that you were solution oriented, right? So it wasn't just about identifying the issues, but proposing solutions,
right?
And then just that continuous feedback loop, whether people needed or wanted to hear it or not, it was needed in order to support the vision and the mission to accomplish. So I heard that.
And how you do it.
Yes. Yeah. All right, let's jump to something fun here. So you competed as Miss Veteran America, becoming a top 10 finalist, winning top talent showstopper and top evening gown. She wears it well. I've seen your closet. So that's dramatically different from military formations and staff meetings.
Yes.
Right? So what compels you to step onto that stage, and what did it reveal to you?
A lot. Wow. Let me unpack that. I was asked 3 times to compete, and my Major Bill Castro, and I thought it was a beauty pageant. And she said, "You can compete. I need you to compete." And I said, "No, that's not for me. I'm not this beauty queen or anything like that." And she said, "No." And so she asked me the 3rd time, and she asked me to look at it. And I was just like, okay. So it was for, the competition was for raising awareness of homeless female veterans.
Wow.
And I said, I'm in. And so I can relate because I was a homeless female veteran.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so that made me compete. And I think I shared that, Babe didn't even know that I was a homeless female veteran.
Wow.
I was a single parent, and we don't know, couch surfing and going place to place in uniform, right? I think that was the eye-opener for me. Continued to keep me humble, and just wanting to step on the stage because of that. And that was my very first time because I was very, I never told anybody. My mom didn't even know.
Wow.
Right? So it was, okay, I'm going to do this because I had to do it for me. And I think I had, with that particular year, I was like, okay, Lord, whatever you say, I'm going to do. Oh, he did it in a big way. And I said yes. And so I continued to compete and was a finalist. And so it was a journey because I always tell Reggie, I got to find my voice.
Yes.
It's like I have to find my voice, and which was difficult because it was some things in the military that happened, and so you just keep quiet. And so it was a wonderful experience that allowed me to grow and find a different part of myself. Like, wow, I did that thing.
You didn't just grow, you excelled.
What? And I did. It was almost like an out-of-body experience because I had church members, Deidre Stubbs and Mocha Lee. They helped me compete, helped me practice and everything else. It was a pretty much a lip sync competition, so you had to have your song. It was a push-up competition as well as the evening gown. I was like, okay, let's go. And then also public speaking. And I'm like, well, I don't know all that public speaking stuff, so let me just not say too much. But when I had stepped on the stage, I selected a song, but Carla, my best friend, she said, I have a song for you. And I said, no, you don't. We were doing something else, like, I'm Every Woman or something. And she said, no, I listened to this song, and God told me to tell you about this song. And I said, what song is that? And she says, This Is Me. And that was my song. That was my song. That part. And so that was everything that I know.
It's all right. It's all right.
That military. That was a good song.
Yeah.
Because we got to be seen. I think when you look at the uniform and the performance, it was everything that women go through, right? Everything that women, we wear many hats, and I had a multiple, from my dress to the combat uniform to the our dress uniform to, I think I had a flat shoe, multiple array of women in the military. So it wasn't just for me.
Yes.
I was carrying all the women that couldn't advocate for themselves and to see us like we are not invisible anymore. And it was one of, I just leave it on the stage now, and that was that. And they were like, come back. And I was like, no, I think I'm good. And the evening gown, we were in Hollywood, and my sister and our best friend, and Leslie came out. Leslie Lorful, she was there as well, because she competed before I did.
Okay.
And it was something in itself for women, again, for women veterans. And I'm just grateful to have been a part of that and continue to raise awareness for women veterans and some of the things that we don't hear or see about, behind the scenes. It was a good ride. It was a great ride.
Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for
My
sharing.
pleasure.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to close out. This has been a wonderful conversation. I've been inspired. I have been impacted. And truly I've been informed about a lot of things that you all have accomplished in your life and leadership. What are some final words? Some final words of wisdom. It can be about life, leadership. What would you like to say to anyone who is listening, who is watching, who is thinking about this military life, who is sick of this military life, who is entering leadership, who is doing a second act in leadership, who is living life, who is parenting, all the things, who is going back to school in the second half of their life?
Yes.
I'll let you go first.
I think that what I would say I speak to leadership a lot. I believe in leadership. I believe that leaders are that thing that gets things done. Real leaders. Anybody can be in charge. Anybody can be in charge, but you will know the leader. Leaders aren't born. Leaders aren't made. The majority of leaders just kind of find that they need to solve an issue or be out in support of issues and wanting to accomplish things. But at the same time, their focus is the people that they're working with and those people that are working for them. If you can find leaders that enjoy the people that work for them, they'll give those people everything as far as a leader should, and those people will reciprocate that and give that back. So I always enjoy speaking to what I thought leaders should be, how I think leaders should perform. Every leader is not going to be the same. Leadership for each individual is different. And being led is different for each individual. A good leader knows how to lead. There are some soldiers or there are some members of your staff that need some inflection in your voice. There's some that need a joke in the day. There's some that needs to know that your job is secure. You're going to be here because you're qualified to be here. So just being a leader, being a leader is, it should be not an honor, but it's a privilege. It's a privilege to lead people in life, to know that you're affecting them in a way that that they're growing, because then they want to mirror the things that you've done, and you expect them to outgrow you in leadership and be a better leader than you are. I'll say this, one of my young subordinates, young black male from Chicago, South Side, rose to be a senior chief in the United States Army, just retiring with 30 years. Wow. And he told me that my leadership, a part of who I was as a leader, helped to move him to the most senior level of chief warrant officer in the United States military. And that's what you want to hear. You don't have to give me no awards. I got the Bronze Stars and all that other stuff. Give me the accolades from the people that I led. Let them tell me, Sarge, you're the one that made me, that not made me because we don't make anybody. Right. You're the one that helped me become the person that I am in not only my family, but in my professional career. So I appreciate you for that. That's all I need. That right there is what I sleep easy after that.
Love it.
Yeah, I would, and that was the same thing, right? I think what I would say to individuals and also leaders in our young generation, continue to plant the seed as a leader. Yes. Continue to plant the seeds of all your employees, and also your people around you. Stand up for doing what's right, and you'll see the harvest in itself. And it's the same thing as you were saying, with your soldier, letting you know. And as we mentioned before, not every leadership style fits the mold. It's so many, and have encourage yourself to be that person and be, and it's okay to do it again and again and again. And so a leader is open and continue to be open, not just one way, not just his way or her way, but listen and take that and grow. I think that's what I will leave is continue to listen, continue to grow, continue to feed and sow seed into the next person, good, bad, or indifferent, right? Continue to sow the seed so you can reap the harvest, not for you, but for those around you. That's a good leader.
Awesome. Tell me about this amazing room that we're in. And we have this wall behind us that I cannot ignore, and this table to my right, to our right. What is happening here?
Well, we had our military wall, just some of the things that we have accomplished, and we put that up for ourselves because we don't recognize ourselves. A lot of times we hide our awards. And Carla, thank you, Carla, she said, no, we appreciate you. And so every time that we come downstairs, it reminds us of who we are, our journey that we've been on together, and as well as family members that you'll see, and what molded us as who we are. And so this particular one, and let me just point this out. This is the 6888 Postal Battalion, the only all black women unit in the Army, and so they're very important to me. And this was my job, was HR, and theirs was postal, same under the same umbrella. And so that's me, and so it just continued to keep me humble, because I stand on their shoulders. Very privileged to do that, and as Reggie and I married, and his uniform, and then some of course, down memory lane.
Just some accomplishments. Some personal accomplishments during our careers in the service. And we just kind of coupled that with our wedding photo to see how it ties, and it just tied us around for being married, times in the service, different units we served in. We have a picture of my dad right here in his uniform, and our retirement flags and some boots that I wore in Iraq, and just some things that we found that were still inspirational and told a story about us and our professional careers and
in life.
yeah, and absolutely in our lives. So it's just something that again, Carla thought that it would be something, and it
Shout
did.
out to Carla.
Shout out to Carla.
She absolutely did put this together for us, and I enjoy seeing it. On some days I don't even recognize it, but on some days there's some times when you look at it and like, wow. I was there, I did that, and this was a part of who I was way back when.
Yeah. And I would say a part of still who you are, right?
Well,
it manifests in different ways.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I think Vet said it earlier during the interview. I'm not really deep into reflecting on being in the service, though at that time I loved it. It was being in the Army was my passion. It was something that I truly loved, and it's not that I don't love it since I've retired. It's just that some things you have to put away.
Sure.
Yeah.
You have to put away.
I respect that.
And that is it's been put away now.
I respect that.
So.
And also our children, those that come down, right? They really don't know us.
Yes.
There are some people that come,
Yes.
and they're like, we know that you're in the Army, and they were like, oh my God, wait,
Yes.
what, kind of thing. And so we just let them.
It's preserving family history.
It
Yes.
really is.
It's preserving a family legacy that preceded you,
Yes.
right?
It does.
And it's not just your family history, it's the history of the country, right?
It is.
And globally, you're part of the history of the world,
That's true.
right?
See, that's why
Yeah.
you are doctor, and we're and you're right. It takes it takes others. You want others to know of the sacrifice that you made, but it's not necessary. It's good to be thanked, for your service, but it's also I don't know. It's a long road to where you've been, especially when you've done some things and been to places. So, but yep.
Lachrisha and Reginald Parker,
Yes.
we thank you for your service. We thank you for your commitment. We thank you for your leadership. And we thank you for contributing to multiple communities. It has been a pleasure to have you here on MANN-O-LOGUES, the podcast.
Yes.
Thank you for answering the invitation, and thank you for informing us, inspiring us, and helping us to see the impact that not only you made, but the impact that we can make as well. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whether you're stepping into leadership for the first time or reimagining what it means after decades in the field, I hope you've been inspired by our conversation today. Thank you for listening to MANN-O-LOGUES.